Hey there, QNET fam, it's Trevor Kuna, and I am stoked to welcome you to our 25th anniversary celebration. Now, today's episode is packed with all the feels and knowledge you need to mark this momentous occasion. We'll be exploring the significance of milestones, hearing from inspiring leaders about their memories with QNET, and delving into our three pillars of legacy, impact, and future. And trust me, you don't want to miss our very, very special guests with some heartwarming messages right at the end of the show. So grab a seat, buckle up, and get ready for a roller coaster of emotions and insights. This is Real Talk with QNET, the 25th anniversary special. Throughout the years, QNET has achieved many milestones, from launching game-changing products to expanding into new markets and reaching new levels of success. And each of those steps we celebrated with you. So my first guest for today has dedicated over 20 years to driving growth and success for this company, from both within the network and corporate. His expertise in people development and a keen eye for detail has been instrumental in shaping QNET's culture and strategy over the years. He's a dynamic leader who's passionate about empowering people and creating a positive impact in the world. So I'm thrilled to have the Group Managing Director of the QI Group of Companies, who also goes by V Partner, Mr. Sathi Senathirajah, to the show. Wow, Mr. Kuna, thank you so much. The first guest of QNET Real Talk. Thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome, Trevor. I am looking forward to having this chat with you.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this as well, kicking this off, especially with you, the Group Managing Director of the QI Group of Companies, also V Partner, upline of the global network of QNET. And I'd like to say that this is a very special podcast because we're going to be taking a look at what has happened over the last 25 years. But today, what we want to go through is understanding the importance of milestones and celebrating milestones. So my first question for you right now is, can you share your thoughts on why celebrating milestones is important for a company's journey and growth?
Well, when you say milestones, I'm assuming you're referring to our 25th anniversary.
25th anniversary.
25 years, Trevor, 25 years. I am finding it difficult, pinching myself, reminding myself that we've been here 25 years, and it's hard to actually grasp that figure simply because it just felt like yesterday when we were a young company. Here we are. I am impressed.
Yeah.
I'm amazed.
Yeah.
I'm grateful. Okay, simply because a milestone reminds us that we need to be grateful.
Right.
Okay, so I mean, it really comes back because we've always been a family, and that's been instilled in our minds, instilled in our hearts that we will always be that family that that's what we put together. Yeah. And families need to come together to celebrate their victories, their successes, and he's made sure that we've celebrated those milestones. But this milestone is extra special.
Yeah, and any company that has survived and thrived for those 25 years, they have these milestones, like what we have. But how do these milestones, how do they serve as markers of progress and achievement in the business world? Like, how do you look at that?
Well, in our business, Trevor, people initially felt that we wouldn't last 1 year. Then they said we would make it 5 years. Then as you keep hearing this, you won't make it 10 years. I'll give you another 2 years. So 25 years actually vindicates us in a way. It says that we kept to our word, we kept to our commitment, we kept to our promise.
Yeah.
Whoever is here today, credit goes to them. Yeah. It doesn't matter whether you were here from the beginning, whether you were here for the last 10 years, last 5 years, last 1 year. Okay, this is where we all get together and we basically say we did it. So it's important.
And along that journey, we've had employees that joined 25 years ago, that joined 15 years, even 20 years ago. And we have a lot. I think we have, according to the statistics, we have 84 employees that have been celebrating their 15th to 25th anniversaries this year with the company. Now, why do you think that is?
Well, I think the culture, the kind of work we do, the people we have, it's a very exciting environment.
Never a dull moment.
Exactly. Yeah. And you're having a conversation today about Malaysia, and then suddenly the conversation goes to Kazakhstan or Africa or Egypt.
Yeah.
And and if you talk about the global village, a concept that our founder always spoke about, nothing comes close to what we do. Nothing comes close to what we do. I mean, we are truly the very essence of the global village.
Yeah. The United Nations and network marketing.
I'm telling you, I mean, you know some people who left and then they came back.
Yeah, I think I know a few. Yeah,
exactly. So they're just addicted to the stuff we do.
Yeah,
and that's credit to all our people, because we have a lot of people who are willing to really fold their sleeves up, get dirty, and I mean, you mentioned GMD, VP, all that doesn't really matter, because when we come together, we're just sharing that common purpose and dream.
The milestones that we've been talking about, they've involved the employees, our partners, our customers. Now, how have these celebrations fostered a sense of unity and teamwork within QNET and the QI group? And how has it helped build strong relationships?
Well, I think it's important. I mean, we are a very global company. Okay, so culturally we're very different. Yet we have a lot of common traits. We have a lot of common values, and in these celebrations, it ends up bringing us together.
Yeah.
Simply because the concept of a celebration is you've worked hard, you've paid a price, and it's time to celebrate. After the celebration,
back to work,
create a new vision,
right?
Create a new plan. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by no means this 25th anniversary is meant to be the end of a journey,
right,
or something that we can all sit back and relax.
Right. It's on to the 26th. It's on to the 26th.
The challenges today, the opportunity today is a lot bigger than it was 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So we've got no excuses, Trevor. Yeah. We've got no excuses. We've got to basically now keep that promise, seize the moment, take this to the next level. Because I mean, what's happening out there, right? Yeah. Technology is changing the way we think, the way we do things, the way we travel. I mean, today we travel like there's no tomorrow. I mean, we just jump on a plane and it's like going to work. You know? Yeah. And this is a good time to take stock of where we came from, but it's also important to figure out and map out our real destiny.
Right. Not rest on our laurels. Understand the world has changed.
Absolutely.
And adapt to just accommodate.
Absolutely.
So take stock, take a moment, think back the last 25 years. What is the most fondest memory you have in terms of a celebration? Like, which one was one where you just could not believe this is such an incredible feeling?
Well, generally, I'm actually a very conservative celebration person. Okay, I tend to take the opportunity to really think and figure out where we could have done better sometimes, and that was always actually, it's always fun to talk to him, simply because he knows when to do a postmortem, when to discuss things serious, and the rest of the time he lets his head out and he knows how to make sure everybody has a good time, Yeah. So I expect for us to have a good time this 25th anniversary, but at the same time, if you look back the last 25 years, we've had some great parties, Trevor. We've had some great celebrations. I still remember one incident that's still in my head. We had a double week-on. This double week-on was in Goa. We had 2 week-ons. We were so exhausted, Trevor, because our week-ons then were a small group, people, pushing the limits, sleeping 2 hours a day. We were all in service, And at the end of that 2 week-ons, and this was via a beach resort in Goa, I didn't see the beach.
Right.
For 2 weeks, right. I didn't see the beach. So on the last day, before I had to go to the airport in the afternoon, I walked to the beach, and I was sitting on that beach for less than 20 minutes. And that's where I had my click and said, wow, this I just needed that, I didn't need to sit on the beach for 3 hours or one whole day or have a party. That 20 minutes just gave me enough strength to convince myself that we have something special, and I still believe we do have something special.
100% agree. And I just want to say thank you so much for being there for the company and for the employees and for the network for the last 25 years. And I look forward to the next 25 with you, Mr. Kuna. So thank you so much for joining us today, and happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Thank you very much.
Now that we found out why we celebrate anniversaries and other milestones, it's important to remember that behind every milestone are countless stories of hard work, dedication, and passion. And that's why we've asked some of your favorite people and QNET's most successful and inspiring entrepreneurs to share their favorite memories from their time with the company.
So guys, really my favorite memory goes back to 1999 when I, for the first time, met Dr. Sri Vijay at the Shangri-La Hotel lobby in Beijing. There was nobody to introduce us, and we did not know each other. And it was awesome. Dr. Sri was networking kind of corporately, and he just turned around, started talking with me. And the conversation, that 10-minute conversation we had at the checkout counter, left a very deep impression. And somehow it kept me thinking about what he had said. I didn't know the word master plan in that sense back then, but this encounter was the master plan, and I'm always very grateful. So I hope that you will find, your calling in your master plan when it knocks on your door. Love you guys.
I remember when 25 years ago, exactly to this day, we stood before around 400 of our IRs to break the news to them that we were no longer, or could no longer in good conscience be part of this American company because of the unethical decisions that they had done, which put our IRs at great disadvantage. At the same time, we also gave our IRs that night the option to join us in the new company that we had set up. A company that for about 3 months prior, we were feverishly putting together from scratch. It was really touch and go for us. We were not sure if the network was going to go with us, because at that point, we were really nobodies. We were uplines, yes, but we didn't have the finances. We didn't even have an office to show. We were really starting from the very, very bottom. However, it was with great comfort and really reassurance when our networkers that night, solidly came with us and decided to take this great big leap into what we now know has been a journey of raising ourselves up to help mankind. I remember that night as if it were just last night.
I remember the time when Dato Shri Vijay Ishwaran and Mr. Joseph Bismarck actually went to my house to do the presentation of this business. I was very, very skeptical about this business back then. And as they were presenting the numbers to me and some of my friends, I could not forget how I was just merely texting away on my phone. At that time, I had an old Nokia phone. I was texting friends and not listening to them because I did not believe in the business. 25 years later, I'm still here, totally, absolutely convinced that this business will change your life, as it did change mine. I'm hoping that you will give it a shot, give it a chance to sink in, because this is the best business you can ever imagine in the entire planet.
I remember the first time when I purchased my product from QNET. It was in the year 2000. And when I received the product and I opened the product and I saw the American Eagle watch, it was not just the product. It was the belief. It was the belief I instilled in myself when I first signed up for QNET. From that day till today, there's no looking back.
Those stories and memories really brought a smile to my face. It's definitely special to be a part of a celebration spread around the world. Now, before I bring on my next guests, I have something super cool to share with you all. As a part of QNET's 25th anniversary festivities, we've created a special theme song that captures the spirit of our amazing company, and what it means to be a networker. This song is a celebration of QNET's legacy, impact, and vision for the future, and I can't wait for you to hear it. Here's our QNET 25 song.
It's a new year, we got a new change of gear, we see clear. Now the clouds disappear, but we gotta give it up for the last 25 years. It's a new year, we got a new change of gear, we see clear. Now the clouds disappear, but we gotta give it up for the last 25 years. This is the life of a networker. It's 98, we've been blazing that fire. So let us take you high. We ain't like no other. So what if we a little different, brother? One love, one blood is forever. No competitor, whatever. So let's do this once again. All together. All together. All together. It's a new year, we got a new change of gear, we see clear. Now the clouds disappear, but we gotta give it up for the last 25 years. It's a new year, we got a new change of gear, we see clear. Now the clouds disappear, but we gotta give it up for the last 25 years.
QNET has come a long way since its humble beginnings 25 years ago, and today we are a global company that has made a positive impact on the lives of millions of people around the world. But what does QNET's legacy mean, and what kind of impact have we had on the world? To answer these questions and more, I've assembled a panel of some of the most influential people I get to meet regularly, and these are the people who you not only admire, but also take inspiration from. So let's dive in and have a real talk about QNET's legacy and impact. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. And actually, our audience really wants to know the legacy of the company and what impact that this company has had on your life, but also how you view the impact it's had on each other's lives from your perspective. So, I'll start with you, VP Adly. Can you tell me about this one pivotal moment where you suddenly realize that you are part of the making of QNET's legacy?
Thank you for starting giving me this opportunity. You're starting by your youngest in the group. One time, this I think in 2003, when one time the Dato Sri Vijay himself, he was in Dubai in one event for the Middle East, and he said he will recognize those who are the best performers. Yeah, that time there were no V councils, AVPs, this all. And when he was calling the leaders, he suddenly called upon my name, and that was shocking for me because I said, "Oh." And so what did he know? How could he know about me? What did I do? So I started to reflect on what I was doing, and I realized that, you just be good to people, be in service from the heart. I felt like, okay, well, as long as they see this in me, I have to step up to this position. Yeah. So sometimes it's not like that. You don't know that you really, on the spot, but once it happens, they say either you make it or you run away from the responsibility. I decided to be in the lead.
How about you, Arun? When did you realize you were a part of making QNET's legacy?
For me, it was not a particular moment. Okay, it was not like one moment where I suddenly realized something. It was every exposure, every meeting with the founders. I kept, this feeling kept growing inside me that, we are part of something big. And this nature of the founders, they have this very inclusive nature. They don't, oh, you are my top guy, the rest of you stand behind, I only will talk to you. They don't have that. They're all inclusive. So every time, I could sincerely feel this.
And Sathi, how about you? I mean, you were there from the very beginning.
It all started when one day Dato Sri came back to Malaysia from the Philippines and took me and Padman out for a drink and said, "I'm going to start something big and I want you guys to be part of it." And I thought, okay, he always does this. He always, promises something big, but it never happened in the past. So, okay, we joined, and it started happening when we used to chill out in his house until 6 in the morning every day. And he used to share his plans, his ideas. And he said, wow, he's sharing with me. I'm a nobody. That's when I started feeling that, okay, I belong in this organization. That's why I made the decision, to quit my job and to just jump into this. And it has been one hell of a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
The ups and downs, the travels that we made together, the laughter, the tears, the tap session where he shouts at you, Dato Sri shouts at you at 6 in the morning, you stupid moron. Okay, I mean, you get to call me a stupid moron. That means I am definitely inclusive, part of this group.
I'm honored to be called a stupid moron. Thank you, Dato Sri. David, how about you?
I think we called 2000, Sathi, was it 2005 in Thailand?
Yeah, 2005 Thailand. Yeah.
They had a process called cradling. Is that right, Sathi? And something happened, because Dato Sri put his hands around me earlier and sort of asked me, what's the most difficult thing in bringing up your children? And then when I said, I really don't know, he said, okay, letting go. And I realized that, this guy who hardly knows me very well is sort of taking me, like Arun said earlier, what Sathi said, being inclusive, including me in his family, so to speak. And I realized that I have so much more to contribute, and this big part of QNET is it's not just a legacy. It's like, Dato Sri always talks about rhythm. At that moment, I realized there's not only about myself, but I have to push myself to help others.
So, I mean, after hearing from all of you, it happened very much early on in your journey that you've experienced that so quickly. In 1998, when Dato Sri and Mr. Bismarck started in 1998, they started with one product. You all know it was the gold coin. And among all the products that we've launched throughout the years, I wanted to ask you, which one, in your opinion, has helped make QNET's legacy a lasting one?
The vacation products, no doubt.
The vacation products, yeah?
Yeah. And I have used it so much. I have given it as gift to my family and friends. I have taken my parents, my in-laws on vacations. It's a product that just keeps giving. Yeah. And I mean, hands down, that is the best product in my opinion.
Incredible.
For me,
go ahead.
For me, it'd be totally different. It would be the biodisc. Because when it was introduced, we all became experts on water. The crystals, how the perfect crystal is, this water, that water.
Right,
then
right.
I remember putting the biodisc in my fridge and all my beers going flat.
Okay.
But every single one of my family members, they have a biodisc. It is just one piece of glass, and the whole world was talking about it. We had experts, doctors coming and explaining, scientists coming and explaining. But for me, I think the biodisc left a great impact on it.
Satya, I was very skeptical about the biodisc.
Yeah.
When it started, I rejected the idea. I said, what the hell is this now? Until one day I found two of my downlines, husband and wife, they were fighting who will keep the biodisc next to his bed. I said, what's going on here? My own downline. That's the time I started buying into the biodisc. But I will say today, for me, the Home Pure is a product. I cannot live without it.
And the Home Pure makes so much sense. After Chief got married, I moved into my own condo. Okay. And for the first few weeks, I used to go down and buy bottles of mineral water. Then I said, hey, I just have to fix one Home Pure and it's settled. I don't have to carry bottles after bottles. So every home should have one.
I think the Home Pure and the biodisc gives us the best water in the world, a combination of both.
Yes,
David, I mean, you've been carrying the biodisc since its inception. Why don't you share a bit about?
Biodisc was definitely a game changer, but today I would say, to me, the cheap ended. because in all my travels, I wear it, and honestly, I don't suffer from jet lag. And I'm able
Well, you just
arrive
arrived
here.
last night from Africa, and look at you,
And
fresh as a daisy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got one more question to kind of wrap it up, because I really want to understand, what legacy would you describe each of your fellow VPs here on the call, on the podcast today, leave the network and the larger community?
Oh, that's a bit tough, but I would say when I always look at Arun, I see let's call it the intellectual, the intelligent person that will give, good analysis to the situation, and it helps me much. It challenged me actually to always come to his level of thinking. Yeah, and Sathi always the heart. Yeah, he cares much. He will spend hours and hours, into spending time listening. And David Sharma is the one that I always use when I was not able and was afraid of, confronting my downlines leaders, or I want to hammer them. I said, David, please, I unleash him on them, and I know that he will.
Amazing, David. Well, why don't you speak to the legacy that Adly, Sathi, and Arun will leave?
Arun definitely is someone who comes across as so analytical, and he presents it in such a calm manner. So I actually haven't seen Arun lose it. Every incident he takes it as a gentleman with a lot of stride. Adly has always impressed me, inspired me actually, and his famous saying, be the captain of the ship, be the captain of your ship. That to me is true representation of Adly, because he's definitely shown his care and his commitment not only to his downlines but to people all across. Regarding Sathi, that man is a true ambassador of freedom. He has raised himself, and today he's out there caring so much about how to help others. Sathi would give you his last dollar, to help you out. And I think that sort of says so much about him.
Thank you for sharing that, David. Arun, why don't you go ahead and give it a go?
All right. First of all, I'm so happy this is being recorded. I can play it back to my wife, all these great things other people are talking about me. I've never seen anybody, as loyal as David. He would, in spite of any challenges, difficulties, physical, limitations, he will go above and beyond to make that vision of his mentors a reality. And he will fight with anyone, like Adly said, to make that real. So, that's what, I guess David would leave behind. And, that would be a big vacuum. When I think about Adly, it's somebody who has, that phoenix bird which rises from the ashes. He has built and rebuilt and so many times. So many organizations, so many different places in the world, in war-torn areas. He himself has gone through so many personal challenges, being in Africa, the political situations. He has literally rebuilt multiple times. That tenacity, that's what I think of Adly. And Sathi, I think of the candle which just, melts and gives light to others. He can keep on giving, and he does it sincerely. He's not doing it because he has to do it. It's who he is. He loves people.
Nicely said, Arun. Nicely said. Sat, you want to wrap this up with your perspectives?
Yeah, I don't see anything good in them. So,
okay, thank you so much, everybody. That was a fantastic real talk with QNET. Go ahead, Sat.
So David will always be remembered for the man who pushed the envelope until the last minute. I mean, he should be retired now, spending time with his beautiful wife, but he's still in the villages of Africa, you know, and at his age, I wish that I can be half as hardworking as him when I'm 70. And then Arun, from a toilet paper salesman to living the life in the US, you know, I always had a thing for Arun that, okay, he really takes time to understand what's going on. Like even when we wanted to open the US and to have a complaint committee, everybody says Arun must be there because he really takes the time to understand, gives his inputs. And you know, when Arun talks compared to Adly, me and David, people know that he's smarter. He is somebody that I want to have on my team, you know, and whoever is lucky to have him as an upline is very blessed. And Arun, you said exactly the correct thing about Adly. He's the phoenix that rises up because he has been burned so many times. Just keep burning and burning and burning, but he keep rises and rises and rises. You know, and Adly is the guy that you call him at 3 in the morning, he's there for you. Call him 5 in the morning, he's there for you. Call him 6 in the evening, he's there for you.
Thank you.
That was amazing. This was an extraordinary session. I really do truly appreciate the sharing, the honesty, and the humility as well. This was a fantastic session, gentlemen, and I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Happy 25th anniversary to all of you, and looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now that we've had some time to look back on QNET's incredible journey, we're also looking ahead to the future. What will the next 25 years hold for us as a family and as a company? And how will we continue to help positively impact the world? Now, as much as I'd love to be the one to give you these insights, I couldn't really do it enough justice. And so I've asked a very special guest to join us. She is the Chief Impact Officer of QNET, Malou Caluza. Malou has been with QNET since the early days, and she is someone who has really grown along with this company. As one of the key figures behind QNET's growth and success over the past 25 years, we couldn't think of a better person to help us explore what the future holds for our company. Malou, welcome to Real Talk with QNET. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm so great to see you, Trev. And thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's so great to see you too, Malou. I mean, I always love talking to you. You have this incredible spirit and this incredible energy. So today we wanted to get into a bit of, you know, what do you see has impacted your life in the company and has impacted the IR's lives, but also what do you see in terms of the future? So what was your most favorite place that you visited because of QNET?
Yeah, so there are two places actually. Kenya. So we did the VCon Kenya and Morocco. We did a tour in different countries to celebrate our 15th year. So these two countries, Kenya, different vibe. The energy is completely different, you know, and the people, they're so nice. And also the same thing with Morocco.
And was there one place that you didn't ever expect to go?
So as a person that has been living in Asia like since birth, I didn't know Burkina Faso until I had to actually check the map and see where Burkina Faso is. But you know, very intriguing and very exciting. So very, very high energy, welcoming people. And that's why, you know, also very interesting place.
Amazing. So you started in customer service. You were also behind the reception desk, and you've made your way through the ranks to be not only a chief impact officer, but also the deputy chairperson of QNET. But today, I want to know, what is that one pivotal moment from QNET's past that you believe will continue to guide its success in the future?
Personally, that one pivotal moment, I think I've mentioned it. It's the impact of what we do. See, when I started, I was just there for work, right? I mean, I don't know purpose. I don't know anything. I just needed a job and I went in. And so we had this IR, female IR, and she was working as a domestic help. She joined the business. She was selling our products, and she earned for the first time. So I was the lucky person to actually give this check. I gave it to her and I said, "Congratulations, this is your first check." And then immediately, kind of like, she became emotional. And I thought like I said something, right? She became emotional and she cried, and we were like looking at each other because we thought we actually said something, inappropriate or whatever. And I had to ask her, said, sorry, did we say something wrong? Why are you crying? And she actually told us, she looked at us, and she told us, this is the biggest money I've ever had, in my life. And this is going to fund my daughter's education in the Philippines. So after that, I think it's we look at our jobs differently. We look at our IRs. We really kind of like that attachment to that purpose of helping others, kind of like manifested on that day, and up to now, of course, we carry it in our DNA, in our hearts.
That's an incredible. I always love hearing that story, and I hope that the listeners and the viewers that are hearing this truly understand the impact that QNET makes in the lives of people around the world. So looking at the direct selling industry now, over the years, the industry has evolved. I wanted to ask you, in your opinion, what does QNET have to do to stay relevant and thrive and adapt to the changing consumer behaviors and the technology trends for the next 25 years?
One thing that we really must not lose is, we are in people's relationship business. It's a relationship business, and we really have to make sure that we keep that foundation. QNET believes in innovating, believes in failing, believes in trying out things, and even if we fail, that we could try again. And this is because the purpose is to really find the best thing that we could offer for our IRs.
What about the future? Where do you see this industry and how it's going to be empowering more women around the world?
That has really helped open my eyes to basically like, us women can do anything, can do everything. I think we've heard about women empowerment, we've heard about inclusion, equal pay, and all of these things. But I think the most important thing is really making them happen. Only in empowering women that we could achieve a lot of things, including sustainability of the business. Because we women, I mean, Trev, this industry itself, majority are actually done by women, because women, when they're successful, they actually share, they actually help other women, help the community to become successful as well. And I think if we continue to do this, we are looking at a very sustainable business. We're looking at a lot of women, being empowered. And when they are empowered, they change a lot more lives, for the better.
I wanted to ask you, what legacy do you hope to leave behind that you hope will continue to shape the company's future?
Well, it's a very tough question whenever you're asked about legacy. I think legacy is something that I have never changed what I believed, and I guess how I serve. My heart never changed. It's the same way, and I want to be. I think if really I want to be remembered is as someone who actually really practice serving, with the heart, that we are truly in service, and that I'm able to show it, and I'm able to actually train our people in QNET by actually showing it and not just saying about it as one of our values as well. So for the legacy, I think that's how I hope I will be remembered for.
Well, I mean, Malou, I can assure you that will continue, because I learned a lot from you since I joined the company in 2008. And I mean, the future looks so much brighter because of people like you. And I want to say thank you so much, for joining me today. And thank you so much for giving a glimpse of what the future will look like, Malou. So I am so excited about the future of QNET, and I can't wait to be a part of it for all the years to come. And now it's time for the final exciting part of this very special episode. And as I said at the very start, there are two amazing people joining us today, and we are here with some real talk. I've had some help with this section by one of my favorite people in the world, Chief Sathi Senathirajah. He's sitting down right now with none other than our founders, Dato Sri Vijay Eswaran and Mr. Joseph Bismarck, taking them down memory lane, asking them questions we all have on our minds. What were they like when they met? What was their relationship like? How well do they really know each other? And what are their future plans and goals? So without further ado, over to you, Chief.
Greetings, 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 my V and QNET family all over the world. This is your one and only Chief Sathi Senathirajah here with the great ones.
Great.
Japadas Bismarck and the one and only Dato Sri Vijay Ishwan. I've never had this privilege of doing something like this with both of my mentors. So firstly, welcome Japa. Welcome Dato Sri Vijay. We're going to chill out. I'm going to ask you some very, very interesting, tough questions.
Okay.
You got to answer off the cuff.
Okay.
All right. Don't think too much. And the first question goes very interestingly. All right. In the world of fake news and misinformation, which is all over town today, we'll start with you, Japa. What's the funniest rumor you ever heard about yourself?
Well, that was like in 2002, I think. I was in Dubai. There was a rumor that came out that I was living in a very beautiful villa.
Hello there.
In Iran, in one of the mountains of Iran, which I've never been to. And it went out for quite some time.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. And Anne, the funniest rumor you ever heard about yourself?
There have been quite a few. But the one that completely took me by surprise is where a newscaster says that I'm a pastor. The term Dato actually means like pastor.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I never heard that, that unique take. And I was laughing over that because it's the last thing on my mind.
Yes.
So.
But I can see why they would spread that rumor. You do speak to thousands of people about becoming better people in there.
Yeah.
I think both of you in the last 25 years have traveled practically all over the world. All right. In your travels around the world for business or for a break, which place or city surprised you the most, either in a good way or an awkward way, Japa?
Well, in a good way, I think Ethiopia really hit sort of like a chord to me because I've been to other areas of Africa first. Ethiopia was a bit different, like Addis Ababa's, the weather, the people. I went to one household of that person with
Iskandar,
our friend. And he brought it was like a simple family gathering, but they were so all warm, beautiful people, beautiful African people. And until now, I've been wanting to, visit that town again.
And Anne?
There have been quite a few surprises, but, the thing that took my breath away is when I landed in Queenstown, in New Zealand.
New Zealand, yes.
And it was a, bumpy flight, small flight that landed there. But that landing, in that airport, with the snow-capped mountains all around and that beautiful lake in the center, that is something that, takes your breath away. Even now, every time I go back, and today I have a home in that.
Now it's home, yeah, exactly.
I still find it breathtaking. So it's my favorite, definitely.
Now let's come to I want to know the answer to this. With traveling all around the world, being vegetarian, all right, and you have to give one. This is not a top three.
Okay.
Your favorite dish, vegetarian dish, anywhere in the world. With that, you rank number one. And you can't say home cooked food of your mom and all that. I mean, out there in the world.
For him now, to be politically correct, he has to say pierogi.
From Poland.
No, basically, it's like, because I try to eat healthy food.
Yeah.
So
try to eat. He eats healthy food.
See, I will never be able to speak. There will always be interruptions.
You gotta pick one, Japa.
Just one.
Your top, numero
Oh
uno.
my God. Numero uno for me is always dal makhani
Whoa,
with biryani.
Chakde India.
No, really. Dal makhani and that tadak.
Dal tadka.
Dal tadka.
Yeah.
That's it. I have that with some
Bread.
Bread naan.
naan,
Yeah.
butter naan. That's it. I'm done.
Okay, respect.
Yeah.
All right, Ane, yours? One, Ane. I know it's tough.
Maki di roti.
Oh, one more point to India.
Maki di roti.
Can you
and
describe
saag.
a little bit what's makadi roti?
It's made from corn flour, corn bread. It's corn bread. And it's served with sarson ki saag, which is mustard greens. So mustard greens made into a spinach and you put it onto the cornbread.
Oh, number one, Ane. Huh?
That-
I thought you would take longer and tougher to make this
Yeah,
decision because
no
I've
more.
traveled with you. Okay.
But of course, a very tough fight between that and just plain old ghee dosa.
Ah, okay. So south and north covered.
Yeah. Ghee dosa is still very arguably my number one. If I get a good ghee dosa, nothing comes close.
Cool.
And Lotus is still the best.
Yes. Very interesting. And
He loves ghee dosa.
yeah.
Yeah. I just don't remember the name.
Yes.
We
I
go.
could have mentioned that, but I forgot the name.
Next
He
one.
calls it wet dosa.
Wet dosa.
Yeah.
And both of you have a lot of skill in business, in leading and developing people. But if there was a lamp here with a genie that could grant you one skill that you really want to acquire, what would it be?
For me would be learning fast.
The skill of learning faster.
Learning fast. Yeah, just picking up everything from language to any other skill.
Okay.
That would be if I have that wish from a genie, that's all
Tell
I
us.
wish for. Yeah.
Okay.
Because then I could have everything.
Then you could learn any other skill. Not you cut me off guard with your answer. Okay, fair enough. Ane, you?
Maybe if I could learn to sing or dance better.
Oh, singing, you're good.
Yeah, so have a better stage presence. I found that.
Entertainment stage presence.
Yes. I was always kind of envious of one of our previous founders.
Yes.
And the guy can sing.
Can sing, yes.
Yeah, so Japa can sing also, but that kind of flair is something that I have never acquired. And my father was a very good singer.
Yes.
So I always admire people who have that skill and who can slip into the entertainment mode very, very fast.
Both of you have spent 28 years together. No, more than 28. 29 years together, 1996, when V Grupo started.
Yes.
29 years together. Even though today you are brothers and very close, the journey was full of disagreements, friction, adapt, adjust, accommodate.
Still is.
But what was the most annoying thing you found in each other when you first met? That one thing that, why is he like that?
Oh my God. Annoying thing?
What?
Having to wait for him.
Punctuality.
I waited for 3 hours for the first time. And I was like, I felt I really he wasted my time.
And he walks in cool.
He walks in cool as if nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
And I'm just like boiling.
And red, you turn red.
Red turn, my ears are red. And I was like, VJ, you wasted my time. So of course he answered coolly, Japa, your time is in your hands. How could I waste it?
I remember
What
that.
were you doing?
Yeah.
Then I realized from there, I could have been reading, I could have been doing a lot of things.
Push-ups, sit-ups.
I've done that.
Yeah.
I don't wait for him anymore. I go on with my life, my business. But I'll be there because he's my partner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he comes, he doesn't come, it doesn't bother me.
Okay, that was fast. And
That
then
was fast.
yours about Japa?
Well,
that I never heard before. So I'm very curious what annoys him about me.
In the early days, my catchphrase was "sleep gets in the way,"
Yes.
and which meant that I worked through the night very
Yes.
often and had to stay late. Japa does. Anytime after 9 o'clock, he starts already
Nodding off.
Yeah, his gears start slowing and he starts nodding off. And
Yeah.
so there I am in the middle, and I get more and more intense, sometimes late into the night.
Yes.
So, I would be really into something very seriously discussing, and Japa is. So, but, early in the morning, he's bright and chipper, and everything. That's when I want to shut down.
And you're struggling until you get your coffee. I've seen this, okay, but I think everyone thinks both of you are holding hands and singing Kumbaya as partners, okay? How do you manage your disagreements?
Well, what I always learned from the very beginning with BJ, he told me this, that in a relationship, there would always be cracks.
Yeah.
And he told me not to allow anyone to enter in between the cracks we have. So I always make sure that I would not have those cracks. And cracks would be things that I heard he said and I've never confronted him. So every time I hear something, what he said about me, I could sleep at night.
Yeah.
Because I could always come and confront him. BJ, did you say this?
Yeah.
And he'll basically, he said it, but see the tone, how it was
Or the context.
brought to me, the context is completely different. So I learned early is that to always hear both sides. And that I could sleep at night.
Nice. And then?
Well, for me, it's, I'm a strong believer in the concept that, intent versus mechanism. Right. So, mechanisms always fail. Doesn't matter how you try to perfect it, So, communication is a mechanism.
Yes.
Right. So, we communicate through various means, including in those days, long SMSs, So, mechanisms fail, invariably fail. And I always look at intent.
Yes.
So, I only fundamentally focus on the intent of the individual. And in this case, Japa, but it's the same thing I apply to everyone. So once I am satisfied with the intent of that person, then I'm more likely to give that person a lot of leeway. Being in the same room at the same place, saying the same thing can have two different meanings.
Yes.
So the objective is always go back to intent.
Yeah. The next one is for Japa. You are his partner. Equal in many ways. But you have always mentioned and clearly stated that he's also your mentor. How do you manage your ego in this context?
When VJ first offered me to join him in V Grupo and be part of, his vision, I refused. Because I told him what contribution would I make? I don't have, everybody knows this. I went to an ashram when I was a kid. I don't have any education in terms of the formal education, college degree, and I'm not an accountant, lawyer, and I knew we needed a lawyer at that time. So I said, what contribution would I have? So I was like refusing. He said, Japa, you have one thing that I could not buy, I could not hire, I could not find, easily. So I said, what's that? He said, your sincerity and your trust, your honesty. And that's your biggest contribution. Loyalty. So when I heard that, how he valued me, and it was not in terms of skills or material contribution, then I immediately felt, oh, this person is the partner to have. Because for me at that time, that's also what I value in people, is their loyalty. Because from there, everything comes, all the ingredient comes in. So then, that's basically, from there, I've always been grateful. And there's nothing for me to be egotistic about, even though equally shares and stuff. I always see him as someone who I would not be here if not for him. Meaning he saw a value in me that I didn't even
See yourself,
see
yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
So I would always be grateful with that. And I always thank him for
Yes,
everything.
yes.
Even the watch he gives me, that is also mine,
Mine.
right? But I see, no, this is, his gift.
Yeah.
The whatever dividend or bonuses
Yeah.
I get, which is mine, when he gives it, I thank him for it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Mm.
because I know without him, I would not have that.
I've always described the strength of this company not to be in the technical details, but very much the relationship both of you share.
Mm.
This is something I've always said on stage. And Anev, my question to you, and I know how hard your life was, as much as a lot of people don't know. They don't know that you grew up, your parents were civil servants.
Yep.
Your mom was a school teacher, your dad worked for the labor department in Malaysia, and you had no silver spoon. I mean, we had a wooden spoon, I think. All right. But today you have reached a point where you are on the Forbes list. I mean, something unheard of. Very few Malaysians have made it onto that list. My question is, how do you keep your feet on the ground?
One of the more important reasons has always been Japa. I was just talking to him about it. Japa, when I met him, and I'm sure that he has not changed that much, never really valued money the way other people did. When I mean valued it, he didn't thirst for it. And I like that. To me, that's a very positive thing because I need to remind myself of the same thing.
Yes.
So Japa's position at that time is, what can it buy us? Sort of thing.
Yeah.
I was obviously more materialistically switched on. Have to be, otherwise the company would go broke.
Yes.
But his counterbalance, where he would refer to it as excrement. He says money is excrement, Sometimes when I get annoyed over something that happened, that we have lost a whole bunch of money for some stupid reason or the other, mistakes have been made.
Yeah.
Now I could get totally lost in that. Then I'll remember, Japa says, it's only excrement, why are you kidding? So I have always used Japa, whether he realizes it or not, as a balance in my way of keeping arm's length. Japa has never talked to me about having a yacht, or anything of that, plane. Never aspired for these things. And neither have I.
Yeah.
It's a kind of balance
Brilliant.
that we have.
The next thing which impacted me personally was the definition of family.
Well, my family today for me is someone you share your vision, your mission, someone who could actually, like VJ, someone who could get into your face and tell you where you're going wrong, vice versa, without keeping this hatred that you don't like them for some reason, and which is normally with blood family.
Yeah.
They get so offended easily, very sensitive. But with the family I had, which many from you and your brothers and VJ, we could literally just conflict, have our disagreements, but we sleep.
The care is there.
The care is there, and there would be I would not be worried you're trying to get back at me and destroying reputation or whatever. So I've learned family is that's why I call VJ my brother. In fact, he's the only brother that actually was concerned about me, concerned about my growth, even concerned about my children, everyone. What I do in life, he interferes. You know what I mean? Like who does that? But family, right?
Yeah.
A real family.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then?
It brings to mind one of my favorite books of all time, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, by Richard Bach. And it's a book that I've given away to hundreds of people. And there's a statement from that book that is very clear in my mind. It says, the members of your true family are rarely, if ever, born under one roof. So it essentially says that in this journey of life, we have biological family that are essentially born under one roof. But the members of your true family, they will come from every corner of life and every walk of life. And it is amazing how the connections appear. So I have taken that to heart, in that fashion. So, and that's a time where, neither Japa nor I understood the value of the company that we were in. And of course, Japa didn't have a grasp of, the skills that I was bringing to the table. He knew that this is some, business CEO kind of thing, but, so it's not like he could, all he valued was not that. He didn't value the business skills. He didn't value what other people would have looked at in terms of my resume. He valued me as a friend and family. And he welcomed me into his home, and I stayed in his basement, which was 4 steps down.
Guest house.
Yeah.
Guest house.
Wow.
So, and that's how his family.
Guest room.
And his family became my family. I'm so attached to them now. I mean, what he mentions affectionately as me interfering is just the fact that I talk to them, and Japa being Japa, is traditional. So he's probably more affectionate now as a father because watching me, they come sit on my lap,
Japa is more detached.
Yeah, so.
No, father must be strict. Uncle can spoil the kids.
So, I've spoiled them, right? And they are my godchildren. And of course, I love them. And the fact is, Japa knows that I will, if at all Japa and I fight, it could be because I'm on their side. They're like my kids, so, but that's what family is. Where you are able to basically, without the blood connection, you are able to develop the same love and affection and care.
So blood is not always thicker than water.
No, in fact, it rarely is.
Yes. And now, gentlemen, we're going to have some fun.
Oh my God.
This is how well, all right, you know each other. So Japa, what is Dato Sri's biggest pet peeve?
Oh, when I interrupt him.
All right. How many languages does he speak?
I know of 3, Tamil, English, Bahasa, and he speaks a little bit Filipino, which he claims he is very fluent in Filipino. What else? Italian, when we're in Rome, he speaks Italian as well. So that's 5, and I think he could say 20 more languages in, how are you in 20 more languages?
And Hindi, he speaks fluent in Hindi.
Yeah. Urdu, yeah.
What is his favorite song?
Oh my God. Of course, Hotel California.
Okay, what does he prefer, noodles or rice?
I would say noodles.
Okay. Which fictional character do you think he most like?
Oh my God. Kung Fu Panda.
No more. But I like Kung Fu Panda, that's true.
What is his guilty pleasure?
Oh, food, especially peanuts with spicy peanuts, which we have to smuggle in for him.
Yes. When did you both take your first picture together?
Oh boy.
Oh my God, that was like, I would say in the cemetery.
Yeah.
That's an odd place.
American cemetery, because we used to walk together.
Yeah, in Manila, they call it the American cemetery.
Because we didn't have phone with we were beeper at that time.
Yeah,
nobody carries
the old camera, the crack.
They didn't have any bodies in the cemetery, believe me. It's just a memorial park.
Memorial park. So that was your first photo.
Beautiful.
The first photo together.
With someone's camera.
Unbelievable. Okay, what's his favorite city?
I would say Colombo. That's what I always hear him. Colombo,
Okay.
Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Favorite city, Colombo.
Or Queenstown.
Queenstown, yeah, probably. But city, maybe Penang, because that's where I was born.
Yeah? But how many countries has he traveled to?
Oh, that I would not be able to
Guesstimate.
Guesstimate? Oh my God. Like,
I would guess 90.
More than, I'm sure.
No, 100?
No, no.
100 lah, 100 maybe.
Mm.
Okay, this is easy. Who can handle more spice?
Him, of course.
Okay, so now Anna, your turn. What is his biggest pet peeve?
Waiting.
Oh, yeah.
How many languages does he speak?
That's true.
Definitely 3,
Tagalog,
Filipino,
English?
English, and he has also picked up German.
Actually, Tagalog, English?
Yeah,
And
I have
German.
Cebuano too. Well, it's a dialect.
Dialect. German is what, 20%?
No.
His German
it's
is not
very-
bad.
70%.
He's getting there.
I would say 60, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard him. I think his German is getting better.
Favorite song?
His favorite song. I believe I can fly. No. His favorite song is
No. My
No,
favorite
no.
song
Journey.
is Journey.
Yeah.
the one you sang in Kota Kinabalu.
No, Journey is your favorite song.
Yeah, Journey. Don't stop believing. Yeah.
Alright. Fictional character, his favorite fictional character.
Since he went with Kung Fu Panda,
You're not into Superman, Batman,
no,
Marvel,
no,
no.
not at all.
Okay.
his would have to be the Kung Fu monk, that
They
kind
go-
Oh,
of.
the teacher.
The
Yeah.
teacher.
Yeah, with the long mustache. His guilty pleasure.
Actually, it's strange to me, but he does, like his healthy food. But if he had a choice, being able to,
He'll eat
have-
like this.
he'll have that.
You're holding yourself back, Japa. What's your guilty pleasure, Japa?
He doesn't like chocolate so
Not really.
much. He doesn't like ice cream so much. But he does like when he makes the, tapsilok and the.
Oh, okay.
It's a bean.
You make it
It's a
out of red beans, black beans.
Yeah. But what's the name for it?
Dinuguan.
Dinogohan.
Dinuguan vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
Alright.
No, I tell you, he
We
likes.
say binuguan.
No. He likes, like me, both of us, the Sans Rival from from Dumaguete.
Dumaguete.
Both of us love the Sans Rival.
Favorite city?
For him, well, I would say it should have been Singapore, but I think now perhaps he's yearning towards. Actually, I think he likes this corner of the world better.
Yeah, true.
Germany, Frankfurt.
Really?
Yes,
European.
he enjoyed.
Java.
He enjoyed living in Frankfurt.
Except for the taxes.
Okay, now this is another nice one. All right. If it was like the movie Freaky Friday, where you switch roles, all right, where you switch into each other's lives,
Okay.
all right, where would you go? What would you do?
I'm gonna do everything that he didn't do in his life, like skiing. I would if my body was him right now, I would.
You were in his body, what would you do?
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna swim 1 hour every morning. And by the time we change, he'll feel all the pain.
And what would you do, Anna, if you switch
I
lives?
would splurge. Basically, can you imagine the breakfast I would have and then followed by dinner?
Everything unhealthy.
Exactly. So when he comes back to the body, he will still be eating the Sans Rival. Overload of sugar.
Okay, and now, this is interesting. This I really want to know. If you wrote a book about him,
He wrote a book.
if you wrote a book about him, what would the title be?
It would be basically about time. Book on time.
A book, the title, what was the title?
Yeah, the book on time.
Keep on time.
Book of time.
Book of Time.
Yeah. Book.
It's about time.
Keeping
What would your title be if you wrote a book about Japa?
the ecstasies and joy of waiting.
Oh, that's a beautiful title.
Actually, Anna, we should consider.
Yeah. It's a good module.
This is a tough one. When did you know? When was that moment? Everyone has this moment in our lives with our friends and brothers. When was the moment you knew this connection would last?
We were in front of, we were in Baguio City. We were having like a holiday. Yeah, a weekend holiday in one of our rich friends' house. Home.
Exactly.
Had us a weekend there, and we were in front of a fireplace.
Fireplace.
And it was the first time I revealed my like things that I wanted to achieve in life to him, my regrets. And I was like, 20, 27, 20, 30. And
you would have been...
he told me that he would help me achieve it. And kind of like that's the first time I felt we had a blood compact. I felt it like, because Filipinos, they do this.
They got it.
In the history. We don't do it anymore, but I felt I had that connection of a blood compact with him. And that I knew he would keep his word. So from that time, I felt very confident because I knew I wasn't alone. Because I never shared that secret to even my brothers, family, even my wife that time, my children, of course, they didn't even know. So I was like keeping it with me. And I was able to share it with someone. It relieved me knowing that I will achieve it because I have someone that's going to help me achieve it.
Very nice.
So that was for me.
When was your moment when you knew Japa was?
We should have put some tomato ketchup in the hand.
There's like the Jose Rizal blood
there was a point where the other founders tried to split us apart.
And Japa.
And
Japa stayed.
Yeah. So we were in the beach in Mactan. We was, and he came to me with the offer that they had made to him, basically. So, I said, so what do you want to do, Japa? He said, of course, I'm with you, and that was because the other side were very, very confident that they had him already.
Yeah.
And he came and actually told me that, I've already spoken, to Japa, and Japa is coming with me, blah, blah, blah. So I was expecting Japa to come and tell me that, okay, I'm going to go with
I'm in a tough spot,
Filipino Brotherhood, and I will go that side. And it didn't happen. In fact, what happened was I was in Malaysia, and he called me because he was under so much pressure to release that money. And he was given a barrel of lies on why he should do it, that I had committed, supposedly.
Remember this,
Nothing happened like that.
Yeah.
But the fact that he actually reached out to me to confirm, and I said, okay, we can trust each other. So that's where it was.
On the beach.
Yeah.
Fireplace, beach. This is a bromance, man. The final...
Rocks. Mactan, there were some rocks.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, Japa. Thank you so much, Anne. This was so much fun for me. We should actually do this once every quarter on different topics. I want to say it's been 25 years. It's been the most amazing journey for me and thousands of people, corporate network around the world. Final question to close this video. What's the next 25 for you, Japa?
Like I said, I asked this question to the people, like everyone who's now working in this company. I'm asking them that question. What is the next 25 years with the platform that has already been set? Because pretty much our passion, we gave a lot. I'm exhausted in a way in terms of skill. And the new millennials, gens, they have what it takes, right? So I believe they could do better than what we did in the next 25 years. So I give them the trust. I'll be there as an elderly advisor to them anytime, but I give
so
them
elderly. Not so elderly, but
I give them the will now
Yeah.
to drive this company for the next 25 years. And I believe they could do better than what we did, what I did in the last 25 years.
Anne?
Well, as I told Japa today earlier, we couldn't even predict, the first 25.
Yes.
We couldn't predict even the last 10 years. Every year was beyond our ability to predict. So the issue is, as opposed to predicting the next 25 years, I would rather, say who I'm going to depend upon. Because as I've always said, companies don't succeed.
People do, yeah.
People do. So I've got this 25 people that are based, placed all across the company. As at least 25 people. And I'm counting on these 25 people to carry the next 25 years.
Thank you so much. The next 25 is going to be exciting. So Japadas Bismarck, thank you so much. Dato Sri Vijay Ishwaran Anne, thank you so much. And guys, all right, we'll see you at the next podcast with the great ones, Japadas Bismarck and Dato Sri Vijay Ishwaran.
And that's a wrap. I've had such a great time on this episode, and I hope you had one too. I'm Trevor Kuna, and you've been listening to Real Talk with QNET. Happy anniversary, everyone.